Good morning, YouTube. It is May 1st, and today I am cleaning off the deck and getting it prepped with hopefully a new look, putting the soil in my pots and getting it all ready so that when May long weekend comes, it's go time. So thought I would just take you along on the process with me today. So let's have a look. So right now I've mostly cleared off the deck and just putting all the pots over to the side for later, where I'll look at the soil and just redo it a little bit. Basically, my plans for this are it needs to be repainted. I'm going to touch up some of the pots and just make this look pretty again. One thing I didn't realize when I decided to have basically like a vegetable garden out on my deck is that all the drainage that's coming from the pots is really hard on the stain on your deck. So if this is something that you're deciding to do on a large scale, be prepared to repaint or restain your deck probably about every 2 to 3 years, because it's just really hard on that stain. Now, for a little bit of context, this is south facing. This gets super hot. There's no shade over it. There's no trees. So I'm also going to say that that probably has something to do with it too. Let's get painting and reorganizing. Okay, so that's looking a lot better. Now to figure out what to do with the stringy bits and see if I have any of that stain left over. This little scraping tool has been the absolute best thing. Just got it at the big box hardware store. If you have to scrape your deck, I highly recommend this for getting stuff off. It just works so well. Here, let me show you. Nothing like cracking open a fresh can of paint. Okay, we're about halfway done staining the deck. Always fun to look at a little bit of a before and an after. And done. Now just to do the second coat tomorrow morning. So I use triple blend, which is a combination of peat moss and regular soil. I also use perlite to help keep in the moisture and manure for extra nutrients. There's no one right soil mix, so you're gonna figure out what works for you over time. Which is good. As for the ratios, I put in old soil from 3 different pots. Then I added 1 bag of the triple mix, a 1/4 bag of the manure, and just a couple of handfuls of perlite. Now for the fun part, we can actually plant. So I have a tomato that I started myself, a few herbs I bought from the grocery store, and then also a few herbs that I started myself. So let's get these in here. Nice thing about tomatoes is you can plant them nice and deep. They'll just keep growing roots, no problem. Okay, next up is our rosemary. I think on the other side I'll do mint, and this will be for teas to put in mojitos. All right, we have our thyme. Put it back here. Okay, and on the thyme side, I'm gonna put my lemon balm. This will also be for teas. I know some of you who are more creative than I am probably can make some salves and stuff like that from it. Then when I get to a flat surface, I'll fix this out. This was maybe a silly idea, but oh well, I'm committed now. Okay, some sage that I've started. And finally some tarragon. Maybe not the most common herb, but it's something I really like and enjoy. There, now that I'm on a flat surface, it's just easier to tuck those plants in. The backyard container garden area is all cleaned up and sort of the main elements are in. So this is the kids' picnic table, and then there's a pot, so there'll be smaller ones in there. Then on the other side, I've got my pallets that I can grow my pumpkin vines and cucumber vines up. I've also got this little table that might come out later when we have company. And this container here really did not do well up on the deck. The plants always dried out in there. So I'm going to try it over here this year. Hopefully that's a little cooler. And then we have the tulips in a container experiment. And when these tulips come out, I'll put something else in this one. So this is what I've decided to do for the container garden. Now let's be real. Once I'm gonna live with these pots, and then I think after a while I might move some of them around. I might decide on more, I might decide on less. You know, it just depends. We'll see what I'm feeling. Now, some of you are probably wondering why I've put the pallets up here, and I use these as trellises, and I will grow mini cucumbers, or sorry, I'll grow normal cucumbers, and I will also grow mini pumpkins on them. Good morning. It is now May 12th, and the container gardening project in the backyard is about as done as it's gonna be. I'll still keep planting a few things throughout the week, but would you like a little tour? Let's go take a look. First, I'll show you the area by the kids' picnic table. This area I haven't totally decided everything that I'm planting, but it's a good start. We really struggle with birds, so I have to use this netting so they don't destroy my lettuce. In this large pot, we have a couple onions that I started from seed, and then I also have a green zebra tomato, which I cover with a cozy coat to protect it from the elements. In the main area, I have about half of it planted. It's still a little bit early in the season, so some of the stuff I've covered up and other stuff is perfectly hardened off, and that is just out there living its best life. I'm also experimenting more with cut flowers in containers. These asters are new to me, but I'm sure they'll do well. Also, I have some hardening off things, so you'll notice like the bricks in the containers there. Those are protecting some snapdragons that need a little bit more time. Over there, that's protecting a Cosmo that needs some more time from the hardening off process. And I also took a clip of some celery. So sometimes what I do for hardening off is if I just want to plant the thing and maybe I feel like it hasn't had enough time hardening off, is I will wrap it in frost cloth and I will keep it in frost cloth for up to a week. And then I'll start slowly taking the frost cloth away, and that's like the lazy person's way of hardening things off. Thank you so much for joining me on the little tour today, looking at my container gardening refresh. I will definitely give you a full tour once we have some green life and everything is looking really pretty. If you're like me and garden in a cold climate with a short growing season, you'll definitely want to hit that subscribe button and the notification bell so you don't miss a single thing. Every day on Instagram and Facebook, I show up and show you exactly what I'm doing in my garden in real time so you know what to do in yours. All right, we'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.
What you doing? You can't eat the rocks. No, no, no.